All right, let's jump right in. Picture this. It's August 2025. Bitcoin, after being kind of quiet for a while, is suddenly just soaring. And everyone's asking, what is going on? Well, this is no accident. We're going to connect the dots for you and show you exactly what forces are behind this massive surge. First things first, let's talk about the number that has everyone's attention. As of right now, Bitcoin is trading at about $117,000. Yeah, that's a huge figure, and it's got the entire market just glued to their screen. So a price like that leads to the big question, right? Is this just more hype, another speculative bubble, or is something fundamentally different this time? Turns out the answer is yes. There are some huge new forces at play here. The first, and honestly probably the biggest piece of this whole puzzle, is a major policy change. It's something that completely rewrites the rules for how millions of people save for their retirement. So what happened was a new executive order came down that now allows cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, to be included in 401k retirement plans. Now, let's set aside the politics of it. The key thing here, the mechanical effect, is that it just blasted open a brand new, absolutely massive pipeline for money to flow into crypto. So just how massive are we talking? Well, the entire American 401k market is worth $8.9 trillion. Let me just let that sink in. That's more than the entire economy of most countries on Earth. It's just a mind-boggling amounts of capital. And that's the real kicker. That $8.9 trillion, which used to be completely walled off from crypto, is now in play. You have to realize, even a tiny, tiny fraction of that money deciding to buy Bitcoin creates this unbelievable buying pressure. This one change has totally redefined the demand for Bitcoin. But look, this isn't just a government policy story. The second huge driver here isn't coming out of Washington. It's coming from the boardrooms of some of America's biggest companies. Get this. In 2025 alone, public companies have raised over $100 billion. And they did it for one reason and one reason only, to buy crypto and put it on their balance sheets. We're not talking about spare change here. This is money they are actively raising from the market just for this strategy. And the strategy itself, it's a playbook that was really pioneered by companies like MicroStrategy. The bet is simple. By loading up on Bitcoin, the company's own stock becomes a sort of proxy for Bitcoin itself. It attracts a whole new class of investors and, hopefully, sends their stock price soaring. What used to be a really fringe idea is now going totally mainstream. So we've got this flood of 401k money, and we've got aggressive corporate buying. But here's the thing. These aren't happening in a vacuum. They are crashing together with a bunch of other favorable trends, creating what analysts are calling a bullish perfect storm. So on top of everything else, you've got fresh money pouring back into Bitcoin ETFs. The general economic mood is favoring hard assets. There's way more clarity on policy, and you've got gold prices on the rise. Now, that last one is really interesting. Why in the world would the price of gold matter for Bitcoin? Well, the connection is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. For years, people have called Bitcoin digital gold. So now, as investors are rushing to buy physical gold because they're worried about the economy, it just reinforces that whole idea. They're starting to treat Bitcoin the exact same way, as its digital twin, a safe place to store value when things feel uncertain. Okay, let's pull all this together. We've got retirement funds, we've got corporations, and we've got this perfect storm of market conditions all pushing in the same direction. So what does this actually mean for the price, like right now and in the very near future? Well, if you look at the price charts, traders are spotting a classic pattern called a bullish flag. You don't have to be a technical wizard to get it. It basically looks like a flagpole, and it usually means that after a little breather, the price is getting ready to shoot up again, continuing the trend. And this chart kind of puts some numbers to that feeling. We're sitting here at around 117,000. But based on that bullish pattern and all the forces we just talked about, some analysts are setting their near-term targets up around 131,000. It's a pretty clear signal of just how strong the upward momentum is. Look, we've all seen crypto hype cycles before, but this one, it just feels different, doesn't it? With the floodgates to retirement money thrown wide open, and with corporate America treating Bitcoin like a serious treasury asset, the whole question has changed. It's no longer if Bitcoin will survive. The question now is, are these the forces that finally, once and for all, take Bitcoin completely mainstream?